Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. This is Simon with AvaTrade, and we are starting our weekly webinar, Interactive Trading Conversations. My name is Simon. I'm Senior Account Manager with AvaTrade. I've been trading for the past 24 years. I started as a prop trader in New York City, and I did it for about 11 years straight. And after that, I moved away from it. And I started to mentor and educate others. And also, I'm very happy to have this great opportunity to be assisting our customers at AvaTrade. So the agenda of the webinar, I see some new faces, so I'll explain what we do here. This is your show. Podium is yours. You'll be asking questions about specific markets. I'll give you an example. You can ask about, I don't know, gold, oil, any other commodities, any other stock or shares. Indices, currency pairs, instruments that are tradable. It's CFDs at AvaTrade. And we'll try to discuss it, and we'll take a look at the charts. If I see or know any fundamentals about that specific markets, I'll be happy to share with you. And that's it pretty much. Risk warning. You can find the full statement at avatrade.com website. And of course, everything we do here is purely educational. Social media channels. Please feel free to subscribe to our Telegram, X, and YouTube channels. I love YouTube channel. It has a lot of information, including the webinars. So every webinar we do, we post to YouTube. So please, if you are watching this on YouTube, if you're not, then try to locate our channel and subscribe. Click on the bell button and you'll be notified when new things are coming in, so you'll be on top of things. Also, if you like it, don't forget to click. It just takes a split second. Click on that like. It will reflect that you like it, and feel free to share with your friends so they can benefit as well. Okay, so just for the warm-up, we're using some questions that we received. So I'm going to address these questions. Meanwhile, I just explained we have 1 hour, up to an hour of this webinar, and sometimes we have difficulties collecting questions. So I hope that today's audience is going to be super active, and it will fill the whole hour. If you run out of questions, I don't make up questions. I'm not going to fake them. So we're going to have to say goodbye, but I hope that we'll have tons of questions, and I'll be happy and very excited to address them. Okay, so let's start with these questions. Now, again, the same way you confirmed that you hear and see me, also, this is how you post the question. Maybe that's confusing, so I'll explain again. There's a questions window when you see your presentation window, the webinar window. All you have to do is just type your question, short question, whatever you'd like to learn about. Is it oil? Is it gold? Is it Eurodollar? Is it Tesla stock? Whatever it is, pile up those questions. We'll address them. Meanwhile, I'm going to start from this. I'm going to read the first question: evolving dynamics in oil markets. So, fluctuations in oil prices continue to impact global economies, with recent trends affecting energy markets and investment strategies. I mean, oil has been very tricky, and we can talk a little bit fundamental here, and then we can take a look at the charts. I follow the markets, including the oil, so I can tell you off the bat. For the past 2 days, we've been testing $75 mark on crude oil. But let's go to fundamentals first. So, like any market, you have oil. It's not an exception. You have two sides affecting it, right? You have demand and you have supply. So in demand, if the economy is strong, which we do have a strong economy in the U.S. and it looks like other places of the world, and China is the one that probably has the highest demand for oil. So on demand side, it's been slippery a little bit because China has been having a lot of issues, and since pandemic and everything else, the economy there is really suffering. So since the economy is not so great there, we have seen that demand for oil from China is really weaker, right? So that's on the demand side. On the supply side, as you know, we've been in the war in the Middle East, and normally, if you take 80s, 90s, there were crises that the oil just went through the roof because the whole world was dependent on Middle East for the oil. Now things have changed and shifted. So we did have initial move, the same thing with the war Russia-Ukraine started, right? So we did have that move on the fear of supply, and then it stabilized. So those two aspects you have, especially China and other demands from the other parts of the world on the demand and supply. Also, another thing important to say about the supply, as we know, President Trump is going to assume his position on the 20th. We have 12 days. So one of his agendas is to, as you know, I'm quoting what he says, we're going to drill, 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 right? So that could probably dilute the prices if they're going to drill a lot, and it's going to be a surplus of supply. Okay, now let's take a look on the charts. Crude oil. You see, we had 30-minute chart, daily chart. We had few attempts here to break through 75. So this was on Monday with the high of 74.98, a little bit shy. Today we went above. The high on today on crude oil was 75.28, and we came right back. Okay, and this was the level of October of 2024. That's where we start selling from that level. So that's oil. So again, fundamentally, we need to see some reviving of the energy from China. So far, it's been sitting here after making this move on the government creating environment for a better economy, but they've kind of failed. Whatever they did in 2 weeks, half of it went away in 2 days retracement, and now we went trading below. So this current level in China is showing support, but so far we don't see the strength. So should China get more excited and move higher here in the index, we might see actually some more support on oil as well. Okay, good question there. Let's go to a second one. I see that you guys typing questions. Please keep on typing. So we're going to go one by one without pausing. We're going to have a lot of amazing questions, I hope. So far, I see one question, and well, I'll address it in a moment. Advancement on artificial intelligence and investment opportunities. Advancement in artificial intelligence investment opportunities. The rapid development of AI technologies presents new investment opportunities with significant implication for various sector and broader markets. So, I mean, everybody heard about AI. It's the same thing like we heard about .com 2000. That's exactly when I came to trade, June of 2000. That's what .com just burst. I was about to. And then, of course, we had another burst of mortgages. That's what caused the whole almost collapse in the economy in 2007, 2008. And some people looking at this artificial intelligence as another bubble as well. I'm not saying I agree with them. We had a huge move on NVIDIA, Broadcom, Palantir, those stocks that are involved in AI had huge move. The moment we saw some AI development from Google, the stock moved up. Facebook or Meta, they moved up. Microsoft did great. They were probably the biggest and the first investment in OpenAI. And then they announced that they're pulling out, and the stock actually went down. So it's all about AI today. If you open Instagram or you open any social media, everybody talks about AI, how you can master it and make money and get rich really quick by posting fake posts. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's all about AI today. So we all know that If anybody didn't hear about AI, they probably just live in the desert without any internet, and I really envy them. So uh, that's right. We have actually the funny thing happened in NVIDIA. Yesterday, NVIDIA did two things. As we know, NVIDIA is the leading AI company, right? They're involved in development and also the hardware and everything else. So yesterday, NVIDIA made all-time high with a gap. I'm just trying to locate it. And at the same time, it closed below 50-day. Here we go. That's one of the analysts said. Take a look. On one day, we had the all-time high, and we came to the lowest point in the 50 days. So that's really, really weird. There was a presentation, and the CEO was talking about things. So I guess the investors were not so crazy about it. Plus, we get some data that pushed the markets down yesterday. Speaking of which, we have another important event as we speak. It's coming out in about 42 minutes, the FOMC minutes. I don't know if any of you are trading or in the trades or about to trade. Just keep in mind that that announcement might create extra volatility in the market. So that's AI. I guess we're going to hear more about it. Some people are afraid they're going to lose jobs to robots. Others are excited about it. So it's an interesting stage of development. We're going to hear more about it. But as far as stocks, Nvidia and others that involved, that's going to be a nice. It was actually a nice run for 2024. We'll find out how this year will play. Okay, we have a great question here, which is not related to our topic, but I'm going to read it anyway. And guys, please, I don't like to beg for questions, but we have a nice audience here. I know some people came maybe after my explanation. So this webinar is you asking questions about specific markets. Apple, Tesla, oil, gold, euro, whatever you'd like to learn about and discuss about, please type your questions. Short question, you type it in the questions window. So meanwhile, I'm going to read this question here. Ollie is typing or writing. A veteran Simon. Oh, thank you. I'm anyway a veteran. I was in the army a while ago. Thank you for all you do. Can you please summarily tell us what is happening to us UK customers being migrated elsewhere? I'm not going to go into explaining it. You should have received an email with explanation. And if you have a customer, if you don't have an account manager, which you probably should, then you can access or ask customer service to explain it to you. If you do have in touch and you're in touch with your account manager, they'll explain it. But basically, I'll explain in two words what's been happening. It's been a long process since Brexit. You know, we're serving pretty much the whole world as AvaTrade, and according to regulations, we're not going to be able to serve the UK customers. Currently, we have, I think, 9 regulations. As I said, we're serving pretty much most of the world, but we're not allowed, or we won't be allowed to serve UK customers as of 1st of February. So until the end of the month, we have to do this migration, and we're collaborating with another broker, and it's going to be a smooth transition for the UK customers from us to that broker with the great conditions and great support. And we don't just, shut accounts of people. We're really trying to arrange a smooth transition from us to that broker. And that's pretty much what it is. Okay. I hope that answers your question. But for more details, you can address or reach out to your customer service. Guys, we have a nice crew here. We're about 20 minutes into the webinar, maybe a little bit less, and I don't have questions. So as I said, I'm not going to fake them, say that Joe Doe asked this question. So I really ask you or please ask questions so we can go and continue. Otherwise, I will have to close the webinar until next week. Also, keep in mind that it's going to be a lot of people watching this webinar on YouTube, and they're not able to ask any questions because for them it's just a recording. So you and I, we have a great mission here for sharing with those people, right? Okay, great. Ali is asking here. Ali, thank you for next question. Hi, Simon. Could you help structurally give insight analytics on what happening to Aussie USD? Could it be good upsides or downside? Good. You see, this is a good example of a question. Thank you, Ali. And uh, in return, Ali, if you can write your own opinion about Aussie dollar, and we're gonna go and take a look at the chart now, right? Okay. I start with fundamentals, and because technicals are very easy here, but fundamentals, the same thing. If you remember a few minutes ago, I shared with you about oil. A lot of downside. So there's two major, actually three major. Uh, you know what? We're not going to number it. So one of the reasons, it's a simple reason. The Aussie or any other major currency has been weak, especially Aussie and New Zealand, because of the strength of a dollar. It's just the opposite. This is dollar index. As dollar index is traveling north, it's obvious that all the major currencies are going to travel south, right? It's a mirror image. Okay. Now, some travel faster down than others because if you take pound, for instance, you know, you take euro, for instance, they're also at the low levels now, right? And it looks like Australian and New Zealand dollar are much weaker than others, right? And the reason for that is, again, I believe China is a big reason as well. China, they have a huge production. It's a factory of the world, as we know, but they don't really have much resource, so they buy everything, right? They buy things from all over the world, and of course, the closest to them is Australia and New Zealand. They buy a lot of commodities there, metals, other things, even milk. I think they buy milk from New Zealand. So, as China has been suffering, I think it also affects Australian and New Zealand dollar there. So that's kind of a simple fundamentals, right? Uh, Technically, you know, it's very simple. I like to take the biggest time frame just to see what's happening. So the chart is it's kind of a CV of the market, right? It tells you what's happening. So we had a strong and long downtrend. This is a monthly chart, so each candle represents a month, right? So we were going here till 2020 March. I think that's about the time of pandemic, right? I believe Corona. We lowered it at 0.5506, and since then we moved higher. We came for a few months, about a year, we were going higher. We came to the level 0.7620. You know, let's draw the line so we get an idea. So this was the bottom, approximate. We came to this level over here, right? Guess why? Because that was the resistance back in the day. We came right there, sellers came back again, right? Then we continued lower. This time, we didn't go all the way down. We found some kind of support around here, which we confirmed again. And as you could see, since this retest of the resistance, we've been having a clear downtrend. What's the definition of downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. A downtrend is still holding. So here, recently, a few months back, we touched the trend line again, we bounced a bit and came lower. We broke the previous support, and here we are again. So now we are testing this level from October 2022. That would do it about 27 months, right? 2 years and 3 months. The low here was 0.6169. We are trading around that level. So the big question here, are we going to break that and probably lower to test the major support from a while ago? Or will we hold this and possibly turn around and go retest the resistance? That's the big question. So that's your technical on Australian dollar. So you could see here, huge drop here, playing around, closing lower, and pretty much we can move possibly our support to somewhere here. This was the big candle on the 18th of December. The low of it was 161.99. So for the to round it up, 0.62, that's the level that currently is kind of support. We stopped here, retested, briefly broke below, came right back and playing with it. So 0.62 on Aussie dollar is the current support as we see it, right? Good question. Thank you, Ali. I hope that makes sense. Okay. I think it should be going up, Ali said. Okay, great. Thank you for. So Ali asked the question, and his opinion is he thinks that Aussie is going to go up again. It could be. We need weakness of U.S. dollar, we need the strength of China, and of course the local news. We totally neglect what's happening in Australia, where it's all about, what's the inflation doing? Are they going to cut the interest rates? Are they going to leave them the same? All right. So that's, of course, the local currency is really sensitive to what's happening locally, right? You're very welcome, Ali. Okay. Going to the next question. Karim is asking, and again, guys, if I mispronounce your name, please forgive me. Karim is asking, what market correlations are you using? Again, it's not the topic of the webinar. Please ask about specific instruments, okay? But I already give you some of the correlations, which if you pay attention, you will understand. China, as you know, this is common knowledge. China is affecting 4 major instruments: crude oil, copper, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar. So that's your correlation, right? Of course, you have indices correlate. Some like to trade indices against others. But again, I'm not here to suggest what would be a good correlation for you. So I'm very sorry. Okay. Karim, again, you're asking me about my style of trading. In 24 years, I changed many styles, and my style would not really help you. But you're asking here, so Karim, guys, please send questions about the specific market, so I'll be happy to address them. But anyway, I don't want to disrespect anyone, so I'm trying to address all the questions, even though they're off the topic. So Karim is asking, are you a trend trader, a contrarian? What tools are you using? I tell you the truth, even in the office, it's kind of inside joke. They call me a short, Simon the Short. And I try to understand why. I'm always looking for shorting opportunities. And I realize that, like you go to a therapist, you're trying to find the source of your issue. So I came to trade in, as I said, June of 2000, when the market started selling, and then later on selling heavily. So I guess it kind of engraved in my trading style. I like to short, right? So that's about me. But I use different way of trading. I can do day trading. I can do swing trading. I can do short term, long term. I'm not a big investor. I'm not. But short term swings, day trading. That's something I like to do. I love day trading because if you go to sleep with the trades open, sometimes it bothers your sleep. So again, I did it for 11 years. We didn't take any overnight positions. We just trade huge amount of shares during the day, and we didn't care, what happens overnight. You just come every morning, new day, you look for opportunities, you trade, right? I hope that works for you, Kareem. Ali is asking again. Guys, Ali's got the podium today. It's not fair. Thank you, Ali. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but guys, you should be asking questions, all of us, okay, here? Okay, Ali is asking, any inside natural gas, the Russian shut down the main pipeline European? Great. I'm very happy that you're informed of that. But the funniest thing, actually, I'm going to show you natural gas. Natural gas, it's a paradox. It's one of my favorite instruments, and sometimes it hurts me the most. And I'll show you the chart in a moment. But you're absolutely right. Recently, the president of Slovakia actually traveled to meet with President Putin and discuss it, because Ukraine is the pipe from Russia to Europe of natural gas, and they had a contract, and they actually, the whole thing is really funny for me. Imagine Russia is having a huge war with Ukraine. Ukraine is defending itself. Russia is aggressor. We all know that. Some people might disagree. So Ukraine is getting the money for transition of that natural gas from Russia to Europe. They're getting paid for it, and then gas is getting to Europe. So European countries are paying Russia for that gas that Russia is using their money to create more weapons to bomb Ukraine. All right, that's just my observation. For me, it just doesn't make sense. It just shows you how, I guess, money interest overpowers the logic or morals or human qualities. I really don't understand. But again, I'm not going to go personal about it. So, how is going to affect it? I'm sure it's affecting the European. There's a European natural gas trades, I think, in UK mostly. I don't know details on that because I'm mostly focusing on the US market. And there's also crude oil and Brent oil. Natural gas we're talking about. There's natural gas that's trading on NYMEX in New York, I believe so. So if you take natural gas, it's been very, very interesting. But before I go into the current condition, if this is not your first webinar and you visited few of my webinars on Wednesdays, I actually mentioned this, and something that I realized a few months ago. Take a look. Just pay close attention. Again, it could be a conspiracy theory that I found out here, but it just makes sense. Take a look at this beginning of the upside move. March, this is again monthly chart on natural gas. March of 2016, we started the move after a big sell-off. We went up, consolidation, made higher. Then we came back. Guess when did reversal start again? March, April, here we go. The bottom, March 2020, exactly 4 years ago. 4 years after that. So this is 2016, March, 2020, March. Stick with me for a while. From here, with a huge move, right? We had pandemic, we had war, Russia, Ukraine that pushed it. The same thing happened to oil. I think oil went to 130 on this move, right? And then we had a huge drop. We came to almost $10, or maybe we did hit $10. Yeah, $10 exactly on August 2022. Since then, we just dropped. We came all the way to $2. Then we came up again. And guess what? We came to the same level again. Guess when? March 2024. 16, 20, 24. So in few of my I'm not trying to show off anything, and I could be absolutely wrong here, but I just found this pattern for some reason. 4 year seasonals here. March 2024, after hitting the previous double bottom, we started the move. So again, I can share with you, it was in the past. So I was buying here, but I didn't trust my own instinct. I was telling my team, And also, I shared in my webinars. I can't give any suggestions, but I pointed this out at few webinars that when we hit this level, 4 years later, we might repeat the move up, and it did happen. So it came. Now we exactly at the level of this previous resistance from which we went down again, and this level is 359. Right here, the high 364. Take a look. This was the top before the reversal on October 2023. 13 months later, we at the same level again. So the question here is, are we going to continue higher and confirm this 4-year pattern? Are we going to go down again and this time make it short? That's the question, right? But your question was about uh, the cut down or shutdown of the transfer of natural gas. We don't really know how it's going to work out. You know, since another thing that I realized since war, Russia, Ukraine, it looks like it really a world rearrangement of natural gas mechanism start working. Because U.S. really made money on it a lot. They working on creating mechanism to selling their own liquid gas, and somehow Europe is using that. I'm not a big specialist in all these details, but I know it's happening. All right, so that's natural gas. Good observation, Ali. I guess we're gonna hear more. It just happened a few days ago, what you mentioned. So actually, Putin, I was listening to his press conference. He was mentioning it and really being upset with Ukraine because they're breaking the contract. Again, it's just weird. You know, you're killing people in Ukraine and then you're upset about Ukraine cutting your gas. Anyway, okay, Mr. Hassan is asking here, too much anticipation that Israel might attack Yemen oil depots and Iran's oil too. Do we expect oil prices to go high or not? It's a good question. Actually, the last thing I heard, it looks like the U.S. and the Britain, they just bombed, or they're preparing to bomb Yemen. And also, I think with Trump coming in, we might see some actions in the region. It's going to get hot probably. And Iran, I really don't know what's going to happen there. You know, there's a tension in the region. Israel, other countries, and so on. Definitely, we'll see some effect of it. There's a big threat from the nuclear development from Iran. U.S. is aware of that. Trump is very strong against that development. So we might see some actions. Actually, are we going to bomb Iran? Is U.S. going to bomb Iran? I really don't know. It's very hard to make. Actually, somebody asked at the press conference, they asked Trump this question. He said, "Are you really asking me this?" We don't know. First of all, he's not in the cabinet yet. He's not a president yet, right? We have still 12 days, but when he comes in, we're definitely going to see some developments. And maybe you could be absolutely right, Mr. Hassan, that current oil move, it's actually kind of buy the rumors, sell the news thing. Maybe the traders are preparing for whatever might happen, and they're afraid of shortage of supply should we see a major military action in the region. So maybe that's why oil went up. But today we did reject that 75 again with 73.30. So as you could see, we have 3 consecutive candles, pretty much the same size, right? With the tails and so on. So who knows? Sometimes things happen overnight and we have a spike up like we did. Let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, that's what I meant with oil with the Russia, right? I was right. We went to 130 here. 130.50. We went on crude oil March of 2022. Russia attacked Ukraine February 24th, I believe. So that was it. Listen, I hope things will be solved in a peaceful way. We here in the trading business, so we like the moves, but I think we should be human first of all, and I hope that we don't need to face more casualties and other things. And I hope that all these wars are going to finish and we'll be able to live in peace. But sounds like a dream for now. Okay, good question. Guys, we're doing great. I appreciate your activity here. You are an amazing audience and amazing participants. Do we have any more questions? We still have some times left. Okay, I guess everybody's quiet. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Hassan. Uh, Thank you all for participating. It's been a lot of fun with you. I hope to see you all next Wednesday, and enjoy your evening or whatever time of the day it is by you. Uh, Ali, here we go. Thank you for not letting me go. Ali wants to know about gold. Gold had a nice run today. All right, let's talk about gold. So, first, fundamentally, and for those of you that's not your first time, you probably get bored of me repeating it again. But I'll say it definitely, especially for new people. Gold has few qualities or few titles. It's anti-inflation instrument. So every time the inflation is high, gold could go higher, right? Also has a title, classical historical title, safe haven. Anytime there are issues in the world, anytime the market, if you bring it to our time, before, if you had the medieval times, you had wars or anything happen, people would really keep their savings in gold, because if you have to flee the country and you go from, I don't know, from Germany to France, or you run from, I don't know, from Europe to United States, you don't have dollars to come with, so you buy gold and you come to the States. I'm just giving a simple example. You go to the market and you exchange your gold for a piece of bread, whatever it is, right? So gold historically has been safe haven. Today, if you see sell-off on the market, something they call risk-off days, you have a sell-off on the market, you probably see the move and gold, and that's exactly what's been happening here. As the market sold, even with the strong dollar and the yields going over the roof, it looks like now for these past 2 days, gold has been playing a role of a safe haven. Why? Here we go. Sell off S&Ps or Nasdaq or any other index, and it looks like people said, you know what? It's a risk off, taking my money off the risky assets, putting it into gold because I feel safe, right? But that's gold. Good question, Ali. Karim, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Uh, Majors. I mean, majors, like I said, we can go through any major. As of now, it's all anti-dollar action. You Instead of looking at majors, again, if you want to do specifics, of course, your entry points and everything else, but trend-wise, direction-wise, you don't need to spend time going through majors. All you have to do is take the dollar index, and you will see the whole picture. Here we go. Dollar's been running up like crazy, and for different reasons. The yields were over the roof. Last decision, when they cut the rates, they disappointed everyone. The press conference, when they said that instead of priced in 4 interest rate cuts this year, they might have 2. Some analysts say they might not even do any, and some even say they might even raise. So dollar's been super strong. When they said no rate cuts, boom, we're going as next rate cut this month. There's only about 10% probability of the cut, so it looks like priced in no cut. So dollar's traveling, very happy camper, going higher, right? So any majors, any one you take, it's the mirror image. The only one that it's really holding and given today anyway, it's yen, because yen, it's a different story there. Everybody's expecting of Bank of Japan to start raising interest rate, and that would actually give more strength to yen. So that's, but otherwise, also we had a reaction here when Prime Minister of Canada resigned. Right, that's the initial reaction here. Was a nice move in Canadian dollar going higher, so USD CAD sold. But all the majors are in a down trend against the dollar, right? As long as the dollar continues being strong, the majors are being weak. Okay, I hope that works. Okay, so again, dollar index against the world. You can put the title there. Also, with the Trump coming in, it's all about making America strong, America first, all the things. So it also give a big boost to US dollar, besides the other things. All right. Okay, guys. We still have time. Do you have any other questions? We still have a few minutes left. Okay, I guess not. All right. So thank you all again. We see you all next week. Have a pleasant evening or whatever time it is by you, and have a great rest of the week. We have 12 minutes to FOMC minutes. It'll be interesting. All right. All the best. Don't forget about social media channels. Please subscribe, click the bell, follow us on the channels, and thank you again. All the best, guys.